English translation 37th contact. Monday, 3rd November 1975, 1943 hours.
Lately, you have been keeping me quite a lot on tenterhooks, and you have cloaked yourself in silence. Furthermore, you had told me that you would perhaps demonstrate something for my group during the nights of the 25th to 26th of October.
For sure. That is what I said between you and me. I was also very eager to show something to the group members, but as you have noticed, I slipped out of your control. Unfortunately, I was unexpectedly recalled due to a special task that I urgently had to accomplish. After fulfilling my task, I then observed that the group members had all already left your home. Thereafter, I had to leave the system to devote myself to the task I had mentioned to you in secrecy at the last contact. In doing so, I was so busy that I had to block myself against your searching intensive impulses.
Oh, that makes sense. That is why once again I could not reach you. And when you say your task, you mean the thing with Zeta Reticuli, right?
Sure, as long as you mean Zeta Reticuli by your word twist.
Of course, that is what I mean. I just could not remember the funny name. Now, however, I want to remember it. But what emerged in the case? Did you find out anything?
Sure, I am also able to provide you with various details, which you are allowed to further mention. For quite some time so far, unknown to us, intelligences have been visiting the Earth. It was not until 1961 that we became aware of them, when they seized 2 Earth humans for study purposes, brought them into their spaceship, and subjected them to a physical-chemical analysis. In doing so,
In this field I am a blank. Can you therefore tell me what purpose such a physical-chemical analysis serves?
This is not just one method, but a variety of them, by which mixtures of substances can be separated at will quantitatively and qualitatively, whereafter the chemical compounds can be determined quantitatively and qualitatively in their structure and composition according to their characteristics. Very refined and ingenious methods, combined with an equally ingenious technology, allow these analyses to also be carried out with living life forms, without them being harmed in any manner. To our knowledge, this is still unknown on the Earth, but widely used and widespread among certain space-traveling races. However, they use this method only in connection with telenautics, that is, hypnosis, whereby the test or examination objects have no conscious recognition of such tests or examinations. That means that they lack all memory for this time period, by which I refer to the time of the examination or test. The recollection is only establishing itself deep in the subconscious, which is why it can also only be released from there. That, however, is not feasible through the consciousness, but only through a strong hypnotic counterblock, which we call a refractive block.
Well, even though I do not understand the chemical stuff, your explanation nevertheless makes sense to me. But what happened in the year 1961? The matter is a little unclear to me. And why are you only now looking into it?
That is what I wanted to talk about. It was on the 19th of September, 1961, in the mountains of New Hampshire in the USA during the nighttime, when 2 Earth humans named Betty Hill and Barney Hill, a couple, encountered a spaceship of extraterrestrial origin. By means of swinging waves paralyzers, the intelligences put their vehicle, an automobile, out of order and brought it to a standstill. At the same time, the 2 were put into deep hypnosis by telenatic powers. As a result, their consciousness was paralyzed, whereby the memory conscious was exposed to a blockade. However, I have already explained this to you earlier on. The purpose of this procedure of the intelligences had no malicious forms whatsoever, because their aspirations lay only in the exploring of the Earth human life form. So they seized the two Earth humans for the period of 127 minutes, brought them into their spaceship, and subjected them very precisely to their tests and analyses, whereby they also took various samples from the two, such as a few drops of blood, male semen, hair, saliva, fingernails, and skin. However, samples were also taken of shoes and clothes, but also of various other things that were of importance for the analysis by the intelligences. Everything was registered by them very precisely and radiophotographically recorded.
I am not familiar with that term. After all, what is radiophotography? I have never heard of it before.
This is an apparatus, similar to your 35mm film cameras, by means of which results of physical-chemical analysis can be recorded and photographed in terms of radio swinging waves, whereby the swinging waves directly transform into a creation of symbols due to apparatus-related processes in the recording filter.
This is like a Spanish village to me, although this is certainly also not that important. A technician or physicist would certainly be able to understand more about it.
Of course, but keep listening now. After the analysis of the two Earth humans, they were brought back into their vehicle, which was freed from the paralysis radiation and released. The deep hypnosis was dissolved in the two, and they continued to drive on without any recollection of the analysis time. They had not the slightest memory of it. Not until later years did they solve the mystery of this event when they were able to reveal their subconscious knowledge through hypnosis.
I see, but why did you wait until these days before dealing with this matter?
A new incident about which I am unfortunately not allowed to talk has only now necessitated this. Our examinations in the year 1961 revealed that there was nothing to fear from these space-traveling intelligences. They are humanoid in form and in fact only did research. Their forms are absolutely human, though their body dimensions are somewhat different from ours. Their size varies between 126 and 163 centimeter.
That is interesting. However, now where do they actually come from? What kind of spaceships do they have, and how do they cope with our atmosphere, etc.?
They originate from the planetary and star system Zeta Reticuli, as I already explained to you. This system is located at an average distance of 37 light-years from the Earth. Their spacecraft are similar to our beam ships and are extremely well-equipped and very suitable for space travel. The atmosphere of their home world is very similar to the earthly atmosphere, so that they can breathe it without great difficulties. However, they are provided with close-fitting filter suits, which offer them protection in a number of respects. To the human beings of Earth, I would say that they are similar to the suits given to the fantasy figures Batman and Superman in the comics, except that in this case the face and the whole head are completely wrapped in the suit, whereby the area around the eyes is secured by viewing and protective glasses built into and integrated into the suit. No doubt you are familiar with the fantasy films of French production about a criminal named Fantomas. If you look at this fantasy figure and replace its eye area with dark protective lenses, you have a pretty good representation of the Zeta Reticuli intelligences in their suits.
Yes, I know that figure from television, but how do you have cognizance of it?
Occasionally I have fun watching such programs, which after all you broadcast through your television equipment.
Oh well, then you are a license dodger.
I do not understand that.
With us a license is needed if one has radio or television. If we listen to the radio or watch television without a paid license, then that is illegal, and we say that such a human being is a license dodger.
Once again you enjoy joking. After all, it is not possible that you have to make a payment for this.
But that is nonetheless the case, because for these things too, money is being taken out of our pockets, and by no means little. Just watch out. Once the PTT becomes aware of your license dodging, then they will be on your case.
You are really funny.
Well, you may as well say so. But how about if you could get me a picture of the Zeta Reticuli intelligences? Could that be arranged?
I would be able to prepare a drawing for you if you like.
That would be nice. Could you at least make a portrait of one of these intelligences, and maybe also a drawing of their spaceships?
Of course, but I do not have paper and pencil.
In that case, I can give you something. Here, a pencil. And here. That is a multicolor ballpoint pen, and that is an eraser pencil. And wait a moment, yes, here. Is this paper enough?
Sure, I will bring you the drawings along to the next contact.
Good, but now I would still be interested to hear whether there is anything to fear from the aforementioned intelligences.
They are peaceful humanoids.
Is that all?
There is nothing else to report about it.
As you wish. Then, as far as the Earth is concerned, there are no matters of importance regarding these intelligences. At least that is what should derive from your words, right?
Certainly, that is so.
You are pretty tight-lipped again today. I have to buy every word from you.
I just try not to explain more than I am allowed to. You often have a way of asking questions that I unintentionally explain more than I ought to. That is why I am careful.
I will not put you any longer in trouble, at least not with these Zeta Reticuli human beings. That is what they are they not?
Of course, they differ from us only in their anatomy as well as in their size and skin color.
Good. Then something else. With us, things now start concerning the lectures.
That is known to us, and we are very happy that you are now making such a great effort. We will help you as much as possible with these matters by giving impulses to certain persons so that they establish contact with you. In this way, further groups of this kind will approach and join you. Also, some very important contacts are supposed to find their beginning through this.
What do you mean by that?
That which I just explained. Over the course of time, important contacts will come about for you.
But what kind of contacts?
We hope that we will be able to arrange a new contact for your group under certain circumstances.
Fabulous. Really a new contact?
Sure, but a certainty is not given for that.
That makes me curious. However, with which life forms do you have contact?
With forms from your time level, thus from your present-day dimension, because these life forms are not yet capable of the change of dimensions in the manner we are.
I see. Then they do not belong in your realms?
No. However, you are supposed to be silent about it, but you know that. The time has not yet come for these explanations.
Forgive me, it has just slipped out like that. Simply do not transmit these details to me when I have to write the report.
That would be unfair because, despite your carelessness, it is an interrelated part of our conversation. But be more careful in the future.
All right, if you think so, I will make an effort.
This is good that way. Unfortunately, I now have to explain to you that we can only maintain telepathic contact in the time ahead because I have to dedicate myself more intensively to other matters for a few months. Thus, I will only come to you once more and see you face to face. Although I will not leave the system, I am nevertheless very strained. However, once I have accomplished my task, I will meet you again. I will also see whether I can perhaps have a chance to come here in the meantime.
What a pity. But if there is no other way?
Unfortunately, no other option can be found.
Over and done with. What simply cannot be arranged.
I am so sorry.
Do not worry, the world will probably not end because of it.
In that regard, this is of rightness. But now I have to go because my duty calls me.
However, I would have had something else, Simya say. Here, on this piece of paper, I have noted down various crystals which are desired from the Pleiades and from Venus. Are you able to obtain them for me?
Of course, but that will take its time.
That is clear, and I have also explained it to the folks. They will therefore be patient.
That is very sensible. But now I really have to say goodbye to you.